I had to troll you, dude. I'm sorry. Just before the show started, Zach was like, "Can you do the cold open so there's not 10 seconds of awkward silence?"
And there's always awkward silence.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. Poor Zach. He's a good guy.
Always.
Life is full of awkward silences.
Oh.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Shall we lock in the artillery power?
This is the true form of floor gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to take a second to thank our friends over at Water Scrapyard and 1/6 Corner for sponsoring this week's episode. What the heck happened?
Sorry,
we lost him. Okay. We lost him.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to see my face. I was like,
it's all right. Sean's a busy guy. He's got things to do, kids to watch. We've all been there, Dean. We have a great show planned for all the people tuning in live and on repeat. Dean, before we get into that news, though, let's kick it off with the world's favorite podcast segment.
Yeah, are you ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
Yeah, so what did you get new this week? I had a pretty slow week, but it was a good one. I got the Yamato 160 VF1S from Robotech. This is Roy Falker's Veritech. It's so beautiful, dude. This thing is stunning. It's got the TV pilot, which is great. Between the TV and the movie, the Veritechs don't really change that much, especially his. But the uniform does, so it's cool to have the TV pilot. Yeah, these Yamatos are so stunning, dude. They're not.
I love the Bear Walker.
Yeah, dude. I mean, obviously the Chigokin is like a whole other like zone of amazing,
Yeah.
But these are so well done that it's really hard to say like, oh, the Chigokin's 4 times better, 1 times better, like. It's a close race. They're a little smaller, which isn't a big deal, and they're stunning. Rainer actually helped me get this for Christmas, so I owe him big time.
Dude, Rainer, where's my gift, my guy? Where's my gift?
Yeah, so that's all I got new this week.
Like when I was in, I'm sorry, I know you like Robotech. When I was in Tokyo, I saw like a 1-to-1 scale of the cockpit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had it on display at some show. It was super crazy, super expensive.
Dude, I might have to send you some money. You can send me some cool Robotech swag. Or over there, it's Macross. But
if you need it, I'll get it.
There you go,
dude. What a guy, Sean. Did you get anything cool this week?
No, doing the whole move. I mean, coming here, didn't have time to do anything like buy or anything like that. I got a new baby coming, so that's my new toy for the.
Hey, congratulations!
Thank you.
That's
cool. My new pickup for this year, anyways.
Oh my gosh, that's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Yeah, this week,
very boring.
Not super crazy. I mentioned it on, I believe it was After Dark last week, but I was putting some things on consignment with Steven's Collectibles, and one of the items sold like the first hour. There was already someone that was interested in it, so Steven sold the Ironmonger for me, got me top dollar price. Really, really cool guy named Miguel came and bought it. And so with that being said, I was able to lock down a slot with Steven for the Sideshow 1-to-1 Child, which is
very cool.
A lot better than I thought it would be based on some of the shots that they were sending out in the emails. But yeah, it's definitely, definitely a little bit better than I thought.
I think you're going to be able to futz that thing so well. Like, if anyone's going to make the child look good, it's going to be you.
Thank you.
So
I'm really excited. And our good friend, Stephen Percha, he had gotten one, and he used a magic eraser, was able to tone down that red, and he said it was super easy, took only a few seconds. So I think that'll be what I'll be doing on mine. But as far as things that I actually have in hand, we were on our local toy group, the Alamo Stash Bin, and someone had this Caesar bust. And this bust is from, it's by Weta, and it's from, it's called the Warrior Collection. And it's actually really fucking awesome. The paint is really good. Awesome. The size is maybe like 80% life size. So I don't really know what scale that is. It's not 1/2. It's like a 1.5 or something. It's pretty big actually. And I was super stoked to pick that up. Met the guy who's only a few minutes away from me, and it's nice because Dean, I have all these stickers from the Patreon stuff all over the office, and like I don't want to have my kid mess with them, so they're just in random piles. And this thing has a nice little compartment in the back that fit all the stickers perfectly, so got them tucked away for safekeeping for down the road. But
what's it made out of?
This is made out of like, I want to say like maybe like a thick plastic. It's not polystone, but it does have a good heft to it, and the paint is like, I mean, the eyes look ridiculous. I'm actually really excited.
Yeah, Weta makes awesome stuff. I really want one of their, like, they did a really cool Ghost in the Shell statue. Obviously, it's long sold out, but I want something from Weta really bad.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and they made so this Caesar, they made it in two versions. They made the war paint version, and then the actual like Caesar without the war paint.
Yeah.
I'm personally more of a fan of the non-war paint look, but this was like a fifth of what it was going for on eBay.
Yeah.
And it was like down the street, so like you really can't beat that. But I love it. I got to do a few very minor paint touch-ups. I know out of the factory, some of them had some paint issues. There's like a little piece of the skin showing here. I can touch that up real easily. But overall, I mean, I'm super stoked with it. I honestly couldn't be happier. And we've talked about it before, Dean, but there's not that much Caesar stuff out there for this version of Caesar. And so I'm like super thrilled to have this in the collection. But yeah, so that was it for me. I should have Steven said that the child should be there on Friday or Saturday, so hopefully it is there and I'll be able to talk about it next week. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked. Let's get into the news though. So Hot Toys dropped the pre-order for the Spider-Man Miles Morales from the PS5/PS4. Actually, is this PS5 only, Dean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So for the PS5 game, this one's coming in at $270, releasing Q1 2022. I do like quite a bit about this. I'm a little upset it doesn't come with the unmasked portrait. Same as the advanced suit when that one came out. Love the Spider Cat. Not too crazy on the electric effects. No matter how good they're executed, I just feel like they just look too toyish.
They look cheesy sometimes.
Yeah, for Hot Toys. But other than that, I mean, this is an absolute grail for someone who's a fan of the game, for someone who's a fan of the more traditional Miles look. This is pretty fantastic. Sean, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, Hot Toys quality. I love the textures in the suit. They always do like really great tailoring. I do agree with you on the effects. It's like it's almost impossible to get the effects look right like they do in the pictures and stuff like that. But like, I mean, it's awesome, and there's more to come too. Like I know people complain about the Spider-Man like being put out a lot, but like, I mean, it looks great. I love it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The cool thing about this game, a lot like the original, is Miles has a bunch of different suits.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get more Miles, hopefully.
100%.
In fact, I was just watching the gameplay, and you could play as the Into the Spider-Verse Spider-Man with like his proportions and animation style. It's really cool.
Yeah, it messes with the frame rate a bit.
Yeah. Now we're already getting that version of Miles in the Hot Toys, so I guess you could futz that into the same shelf. But like, Zach, you have a really nice Miles display.
Yeah, it's like a spider shelf. Yeah.
Do you think this is something you would put in there, or maybe you want to play the game first?
So, I am in the Xbox fanboy camp, though. I think for this next generation, I'll probably be switching to PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of issues. I've just always had issues with this Xbox One, even like right when I got it. And the issues have kind of snowballed. I right now in that shelf, I have 2 Young Rich Black Suit Miles, the Young Rich Casual Advanced Suit, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and then a Spider-Gwen. So I'd probably swap out like one black suit for this one, and then maybe make it like a 2-shelf display, and maybe add in, because I do plan to get the Hot Toys. What is it? The Spider-Verse Miles, and I could definitely see myself getting this one, though obviously I have plenty of time to make those decisions. I definitely am going to be picking this one up, and I'm hoping, I believe it was Lim Toys that made the unmasked portrait. I hope that they go in and make one for this version of Miles. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I think this will go super great with anybody that has the advanced suit, or actually any Spider-Man, really, because you could put Miles next to almost any of the movie figures or video game figures. It's going to look great.
Yeah,
Plus
and I almost... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, just the suit alone, it's so close to the comic version that you can almost like put it into the, and it looks like a movie MCU version.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that this one will look a little bit better with the advanced suit, and just fitting in with the MCU stuff, because the Spider-Verse one, even though it's not totally accurate to the proportions of the movie, it does have some heavy influences, like in the shape of the feet, just the narrowness of the head and the shape of the head. This is so good that it almost makes me wonder if I need the Hot Toys Spider-Verse Miles. I'm really not sure. This is really kind of puts a wrench into the plans that I had. But I definitely don't think I'm gonna I'd wait to play the game to get the figure, because I like the character regardless of the game, right? Like I've liked that character before he was in the game. So I really don't know. And 270 is a little high. But I just don't know.
I would also look out for this. The line's going to expand a lot, so you might get a few surprises in this line than you did in this line than you did in the other line. So I would, I mean, if anything, this is like more of a if you're going to get one of the figures from this line, this is probably the figure I would get, honestly. All the other ones, I mean, I could take or leave, but like this one's so close to what like you could put this in an MCU line, you can put this in that line and whatnot. But
damn, dude, I'm looking at my Miles shelf right now. It's pretty crispy. Real quick, Jason Nelson says starting today is the Star Wars Lego Holiday Special on Disney Plus. I believe it is.
Yes.
And going back, Mario and Eddie says the game is also playable on PS4.
Oh, cool.
Sticking with Miles, Sentinel is releasing a new line that they're calling SV. They're releasing a Miles Morales. It comes in at 130, releasing June 2021. I think proportion-wise, I think sculpt-wise, and I think functionality-wise, this is probably going to be the best out of all the 112th Miles. The Mafex has like that weird mixed soft goods / plastic outfit, whereas this one gives you a whole separate set of thighs, torso, and arms to give you that sculpted look. I think the head sculpt looks really good. I think the proportions look excellent. A lot of the hands have like stuff built into them. It seems like there's web hands that are built in with webs. There's a phone hand that has the hand built in already, and then a spray paint hand. I really think that this has the potential to be the 1/12 miles, though 130 is kind of steep. I think the Mafex comes in at like 85, 90. And then you can get on Big Bad Toy Store. I think it's like 109, so you're paying a little bit of a premium there. But this definitely is tempting. What do you guys think
about the hammer? Is that for Spider Ham?
The Spider Ham gives him the hammer when he
leaves.
Hammer,
Oh, that's right. Okay, thank you. I was like, what the fuck is with the hammer?
Yeah.
This is great. I think I really want a 1/12 miles. So this might be the one I got. I don't know.
Dude, I'm kind of tempted. Now, this is a new line that Medicom is going into, or Sentinel rather is going into. And, whether or not it's a successful line or how many characters they get into it, I guess will probably depend on how well this figure does. Sean, what do you think about this? Oh, I think we lost Sean for a second. Can you hear us? Oh, I don't know. I think we lost Sean. We'll go on to the Mondo X-Man animated. This is the 1/6 scale Wolverine figure. And at this point, this is just a work in progress that we've seen. But it seems to have some decent accessories. You get the, what would you call this, Dean? Like the claws with a little bit of an effect between them. You get several different heads, some hands. And I mean, the Mondo animated stuff, like lately, they've been pretty decent, to be honest. I know the Batman 1/6 from the animated series was pretty well received. Maybe not so much as a figure, but I know the Rick and Morty like statue type figures were also pretty well received.
Yeah.
And of course, the 12-inch, not the 1/12, but the 12-inch Iron Giant was also people enjoyed that quite a bit. What do you think about this?
I like how it comes with the picture frame, so you could recreate the meme.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, I thought that might be what it is, but that's actually really hilarious.
That's really funny. I've gone on record before. It's a very unpopular opinion. I hate the X-Men. This is the design to get, though. Like the Jim Lee X-Men are like arguably the coolest, design-wise. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting because, like you said, the Batmans were really cool. Like it literally just looks like they like took an animation cell and like 3D printed it, right? It looks amazing. So I have no doubt this will be pretty cool. I personally wouldn't get it, but I mean, hey, if you love the X-Men, if you love Wolverine, and you like 6 scale, I mean, I can't think of off the top of my head a 6 scale Wolverine I'd rather have over this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Like the Batman, yeah, there's probably a bunch of other Batman I'd rather have than the animation Batman. But for Wolverine, I mean, I wouldn't get any of the movie figures over this.
Yeah.
This is cool.
We'll definitely stay updated on this one. At this point, I was not able to find a price or an estimated release date, but as we get more actual photos, we'll keep you guys updated on that. Now, Dean Soso Toys put up the pre-order for their Nightwing. It was 156, releasing Q1 2021. Our friends over at 16 Corner, who sponsor the show, do carry this figure. And if you're a member of their Facebook group, you can actually pre-order this figure without a deposit, which is pretty convenient.
Nice.
And again, I don't really know a tremendous amount about this this version from this show, but I know it looks pretty fucking cool, and I'm kind of tempted. It looks fucking fantastic.
I like that it actually has light up batons. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. That's definitely
for how small that is. That's crazy.
Yeah, I can't imagine what battery would even be in those things.
Right. The undersuit looks like it's going to hold up really well. The armor looks like it's not going to give you any problems. It looks like dare I say, a slam dunk figure. I mean,
please, can I get the sticker, please?
I don't like, or I don't know if I don't like it, but I've never seen the show.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest DC fan. I don't really know anything about this character, but Objectively, it looks cool. Looks pretty
I
sweet.
want something like this to go with my BVS Batman, and I think this might just be that thing. I will say, obviously, this is a pre-order, and we know that things can change from pre-order to final release.
Yeah.
But just looking at these photos, I can say objectively, I think this head sculpt is a lot better than the Toys era, the Air, which was the Robin from the same series and based on the same actor. Whether or not the final product, of course, is as good remains to be seen. But yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on this one. It's coming out Q1 2021, so it should be right around the corner.
Now you picked up the McFarlane figure of this, right?
Yes,
or the same character, but
yes. Real quick, Sean's internet went out in his, I guess, in his apartment, so we'll try to have Sean back on Collecting Weekly in the future. But right now he's trying to figure out why the whole internet is out in his place. So we'll definitely work on getting Sean back in the future, or if we can even get him back during the show. But big shout out to Sean for coming on for the amount of time that he was able to.
All the way from Japan.
I think that's our furthest guest.
Yeah.
Right? I think. Up next, the Kickstarter Spawn came in update number 35. The first figures are shipping the first week of December, and a few of the toy influencers have already gotten their hands on this as a production sample. Dean, you have this on Kickstarter. I guess you funded it. What do you think about the final product?
I think it's great. All the problems that people have with it, like, were already kind of known up front, so I don't know why they're acting so surprised. This isn't, I mean, Todd McFarlane himself has already said this isn't going to be the most articulated Spawn that he's going to make. He's going to have other things down the line.
Yeah.
But for what it is, I think it's great. I think it's super cool. It's articulated enough that you could do some pretty sweet poses. Now there is, like, the unmasked head sculpt, you could only really pose it one way.
Yeah.
With the masked head sculpt, you could futz the neck and the head. That in a photo, you probably won't notice that maybe the neck is a little pre-posed. The torso is a little annoying. That it's so twisted, so it's always going to look like that.
Scoliosis.
I wouldn't have minded if it had no articulation and it was just straight on. But I mean, again, like I said, everybody knew what this was, right? Nobody was expecting, or I don't think you should have been expecting, the most articulated figure of all time ever. But the display is gorgeous. The box is gorgeous. Everything about this figure is fucking sweet. I can't wait to get it.
Is the so I did watch Chartemis Prime's review of this, and is the packaging collector friendly? It almost looked like you had to rip it open, or
no, it has tabs on the back. You just pop it open.
Oh, okay.
The clamshell.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, so I know, Dean, that you've been pretty on the spot about watching all his videos. I hadn't been, and so when I saw the review, I didn't know that the torso was pre-posed, that one of the necks was like pre-posed, and that was a little bit of a turnoff because I've only ever seen really in depth the McFarlane, the Mortal Kombat version of this one. So that was a little shocking to see, but that does harken back to the old school McFarlane Spawn stuff that was like legit just statue wise, or like very, very limited posability.
I think if you want the most articulated Spawn, I think your best bet is the Mortal Kombat one. It's a classic design. It looks great. I think this is a much more beautiful figure in terms of design, paint, just attention to detail, right? Because they're two totally different things. One is like an action figure for playing, and one is like a display piece, right? And you don't have to spend $75 on the Mortal Kombat one. You can only spend $20. So they're, you know, it's like the difference between a Hot Toys and like a Barbie, right? They're two totally different figures. They serve different purposes, right? One is for a kid to play with, and and the other one is a display piece to show off. So I think it's weird that people are comparing the two. Like, oh, well, the Mortal Kombat one does this and that. It's like, yeah, but they're two different things.
Was this the version that you backed?
Yes, this one. Because the Mortal Kombat Spawn one looks like the modern Spawn. This is the classic Spawn with the red and the white instead of all black and white.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. I don't even know if I'm gonna take it out of the box. Like, that looks so cool.
In the box?
Yeah, like hanging on my wall or having it on my shelf. That looks sweet.
Dude,
and then
I will never get the inbox people.
Look, I'm not an inbox collector, you know that. But that looks good. I think.
I mean, different strokes. No, I'm not a hater. I'm just saying
you're a hater, dude. The second the videos were coming out, I was like, "Look how terrible this is." I was like, "What are you?"
I was worried for you. I was worried that you'd be upset, so I was going to give you a primer. I was trying to give you a primer that.
No, you were trying to break the news and see me upset. I know you.
Why would I would do that on the show? I wouldn't wait. I wouldn't do it off air. I want the genuine on-air reaction.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude,
yeah. No. Either way, I'm super excited. And you know, again, there's just more future Spawn stuff. So yay for everyone.
Now you said that the first figures are shipping the first week of December.
Yeah, he said they were delayed.
Will the is that for the first figures of the classic version that you have, or is that for all of the versions that have been ordered?
I believe he said it was all of them. Just like,
shit, that's not bad. Because when did the Kickstarter start?
Oh man, I don't look. I could get you an official date, I guess.
I mean, just roundabout. I'm just curious. I mean, because it seems like the turnaround from concept to release wasn't that bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not like a year. Like, what do you call it? A HasLab.
Fucking HasLab.
Yeah. Let me pull up my Kickstarter here. This was. I don't know if it has a date on that. The first update was August. Oh no, here's more. Man, he updates a lot. 37 updates.
We don't have to have an exact answer.
I guess around like February, April.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Update number 1 is April. Yeah.
Okay. Up next, Medicom Toy did put on their Instagram this photo here of Homelander, and looking at this, it seems like they're going to be doing. This doesn't look 1/6 scale. Just the way the scaling looks there, it doesn't look like it's fabric. So I imagine soon. I know Medicom posted that they're doing like a like they're showing off products soon in a virtual event. So I imagine we're probably going to see at minimum a Homelander from the boys, but maybe some other Medicom 6-inch scale stuff from them. And we'll keep you guys updated on that. I know NECA is supposed to be releasing some the boys stuff as well. Between NECA and Medicom, Dean, would you buy any of these characters?
Yeah, dude, hell yeah. I mean, there's so many good characters that it's hard to say, like, I'll get all of them. Definitely Homelander, definitely Butcher.
Yeah.
And then maybe what's her name? Starlight?
Yeah.
So I mean, at least 2, right?
Yeah.
And this is Medicom, or is this
Medicom
Mayfix, or is it Real Action Heroes?
So that's speculation. They didn't answer it in the comments.
Okay.
But based on the texture of the arm, that doesn't look like a fabric. It looks like a plastic.
Right.
I would say this is like, and this is just purely based on this one awkward angle photo. Yeah. I would say this is probably going to be a 6-inch scale. Yeah. And I don't think that they've done Real Action Hero for a while. So I definitely think this is going to be like the 6-inch scale stuff like the Miles was that we talked about earlier. DA says Billy Butcher is a for sure buy. Let's get into rumored releases. Gamora is rumored, quote unquote, to be coming out soon as this week, as soon as tomorrow. Whether or not that is true will remain to be seen. This figure's been like 930 days in production. So I honestly, Dean, I think that there's got to be some amount of concern that when people get their Gamoras, that some part of the material of the pleather or the rubber might already be prone to being damaged, being that this figure potentially has been in production for 900 days.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but that's I think at this point this is the longest time that a figure has been solicited and then potentially released in the modern era.
And you know what's even weirder looking at this? The chest rig, it doesn't even look like it fits properly. It looks like they took the one from Star-Lord and just threw it on her. Right?
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's just not on there securely.
Looked like she built like a baked bean.
Straight like a baked bean. Yeah. I don't know. I think this is gonna be a disaster.
Dude, Hot Toys is putting that out there and they're like,
fuck it though, bro. It's your life.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna let you get that rotted pleather. Jason says, I'm confused. Are there already 2 Gamora figures that were released?
No.
The first
Guardians
Gamora
one.
Yeah. This is from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Also, breaking news. We some people just got an email on our Patreon chat that Commander Cody is an imminent arrival for Tuesday, November 24th from Sideshow.
Yay!
So, Dean, if you get that email, you gonna get ready to pay for that bad boy.
Hell yeah.
Should be exciting. I know a lot of people are really upset that it hasn't gone up for release yet, but should be coming very soon. Dean, it's that time of the show. Kick it off.
Oh, no. Dude, I wasn't ready.
Oh, my gosh. It's only at the same part of the show every episode.
No, my apps are open.
While you're pulling that up, I'm gonna pick up that ball for you, Dean.
Hey,
and
what the scrapyard?
Did you hear Rayner's attempt at dethroning the king?
No, is it bad?
Look, man, Eric is gonna put it up on Collecting Weekly Clips along with your best attempt. In fact, I'll be quiet so you can give a best attempt, and we'll let the fans decide. Yeah, so this is your attempt right here. Ready? I'm gonna be quiet now.
Hey, it's what the scrapyard, Annie. That's a pretty good one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, we want to take a second. I always mess that up, dude. We want to take a second to thank our friends over at Watto Scrapyard for sponsoring this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, and eBay under Watto Scrapyard. They make 3D printed parts to hard to come by Kenner and Hasbro vehicles, as well as hundreds of different head sculpts of characters from the Star Wars universe and others. If you don't see a character you want on their Instagram, just send a message and they'll get it designed, shipped, and printed. Or printed and then shipped straight to your door for a reasonable fee. We also want to thank our friends 1/6 Corner. Their mission is to provide the best figures and collectibles to their customers. They offer great prices, great packaging, and fast shipping. Choose your figures, pay safe with PayPal, and leave the rest to them.
Dude, good people there at Watto Scrapyard and 1/6 Corner. Let's get into UPS stuffs now. For years, we've recommended that if you're not able to sign for your package, which is a requirement by Sideshow, lately during COVID, I believe that they've been, unless your package is over, I think it's $400 or $500, they've just been not requiring signatures. And it's obviously never a good idea to leave a $200, $300, $400 package sitting on your front door. Yeah. And so we've recommended that people reroute their stuff to Access Points, which with my UPS was free up until a few days ago. UPS is now charging a $6 change delivery change fee that is charged when the delivery change is completed. I don't believe there's a way to get out of this charge other than paying for the premium for the full year, which is an expense. Sean Nelty says the policy changed November 1st from the other comments that I saw.
What's the yearly fee?
I let me look it up real quick. My UPS premium. Yeah.
Because $6 a pop, you'd have to think maybe. Well, I guess it would depend on how many figures you're buying every year, right?
So this one says this is an older post, but it's $40 a year. But if you think about it, like specifically with Sideshow, you're forced to do UPS. You know, you're paying $25 per shipping, plus either $6 for the delivery change or $40 you're on top of that.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Ends up being quite expensive. So unfortunately, that's just another thing you have to deal with. And this used to be free, like totally free.
Right.
And this is a change that recently happened. But we'll keep an eye on that. I don't know if that's a permanent change or just a COVID change. But we'll definitely see what happens with that. Dean, I don't think we've done a Grinds My Gears in a while. And I think it's time that we grind some gears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the thing that I want to talk about today is something that we've been seeing more in the groups lately. And I will say this is purely speculation on our part. We don't know if this is 100% true. Sideshow has at this time denied the claims that this is happening. But I'll read here. So this guy says, before I contact Sideshow, any tips how to perceive? The reissued Mark 47 came in a regular shaped box without Hot Toys printed on it. I thought maybe it was a double boxed. I was wrong. I do prefer the actual shippers, but would have been okay since the art box was still beautiful. However, the figure had scratches on the crotch area and the thigh. The helmet also had some weird thing going on around the jaw. I haven't checked the magnets yet because by now the figure was probably a return, and I was going to reach out Sideshow since I paid Sideshow's full price. Kind of regretting not checking yes when they asked to ship out earlier than the scheduled payment plan. And we've seen quite a bit of reports of this lately. You can see here there's like a weird residue on the face. The crotch has a shitload of scratches all over it.
Yeah.
It almost makes me wonder, since this is a reissue figure, if someone had a Mark 47 for however long, with like 3 years, they bought the reissue, swapped it out, and then returned it to get a brand new figure. Yeah. But we've seen time and time again people getting figures without the shipper box, and they come in questionable condition. Now, there's two parts to that. Sideshow claims that sometimes they get figures sent without shipper boxes, and that's what those figures are. And I certainly think that there could be some possibility that a figure is received without a shipper, or a shipper's damaged and they have to rebox it. I'm lending some credence here to the idea that could happen, but I think you lose the ability to claim that that's the case when the figure inside is clearly not new, right? In another case, Ryan says that the same thing, and this is the second time in a row that he received a figure like this. No Hot Toys brown shipper, oddly wrapped in foam paper. Art box was cut open and held shut by Scotch tape. Chin guard / face cover wasn't secure and had fingerprints on the sticky side. The figure looks okay, but it's definitely missing the interior packaging. Another guy here on Let Your Geek Side Show today posted that he potentially got someone else's return. Sean Fear in the chat says, my Best Ben Leia came that way with no shipper. I believe my Mark 45 diecast Iron Man came that way. When I asked them, they said that the same thing. Like sometimes they get figures without a shipper. If indeed that is the case, I think it is a shame that collectors are paying full retail for things that are not brand new.
Yeah, exactly.
Whenever I go into a local comic store, if they have a figure on the shelf, if I want to buy it, I'll always ask them if they have a brand new sealed one in the back. And if they don't, I'm not paying the sticker price on the shelf because that is no longer a new figure. What do you think about this, Dean? What do you think about the idea that returns are being sent out as new figures?
That's fucking bullshit, dude. Dude, if you're going to send me a return figure, give me a discount. It's easy as that. And if it's really that big a deal, send it to me with a what do you call it? as is.
Warrant. Yeah.
You're buying this as is, but you're getting a big discount, right? Okay, I'll take the risk. I will risk the money that I have now been discounted on the fact that I get a pretty decent figure, right? But no, they're charging full price and sending out figures that look like this. Now, the Black Widow one looked okay, right?
Yeah.
It's like some tape, but it looked like the figure was, I think he said it was fine.
Yeah.
But I just don't, it's hard to imagine that Hot Toys is putting all their figures in shipper boxes, putting them on pallets, sending them to Sideshow, and they're like, oh, you know what? We have a bunch of them that don't have shippers. Just throw them in there.
Now, putting on the tinfoil hat here, Dean, if I'm a company and I ship you a figure in a shipper, right? And you open it, you decide you do not want it, and you send it back. By that point, there's 2 sets of labels on that box already. And there's the conspiracy in the groups like, well, the reason these used figures don't have the shippers is because the shippers are already damaged, they're used, and there's a shitload of labels on them. That's why they're shipping them in these larger boxes. Again, I want to emphasize at this point, from everything that we've seen, Sideshow's claiming that this is not the case. I think, with the Black Widow, maybe you could make the argument. But I think with this Iron Man looking as bad as it does, this is clearly not something that is new. And I don't know. I think at some point it would be great if Sideshow did open up a part of the website and say, hey, we have a number of these figures that have been returned. Because you got to imagine, right? If they send out 1,000 figures, some very, very small amount of those come back as returns.
Right.
And we were talking about this, and there's some really successful companies that do that they sell open box things at a 10 to 15% discount. So Sweetwater, which is the company that we buy all of our audio and video equipment from, they sell what's called demo units.
Amazing customer service, by the way. Sweetwater rock.
Yeah, so they say what demo means to us is that we've had it out of the box, and maybe it was in a customer's hands for a few days, and it isn't factory fresh as a result. Every demo item we sell has Sweetwater's 2-year total confidence coverage warranty and has been tested and verified up to new specs by our factory authorized technicians to make sure it's in perfect order before we ship it to you. It comes with 2-year total warranty, products inspected, free shipping. And so I just don't know. I don't know if that's possible for Sideshow to inspect every single return figure to the T to sell them. I don't know if it's better for them just to take those return figures and use them for parts. I really don't know, but I think there's certainly a lot of people that are getting some real suspicious packages from Sideshow and basically being told that those parts of the package aren't guaranteed to be like the shipper box. Like that's not part of what you're buying. Mario says Hong Kong Hot Toys figures don't have shippers unless it's some sort of an exclusive, and that is true. But the only thing I can think of is maybe if Sideshow ordered, let's just say like 100, and Hot Toys only has 90 that are in the shipper box for international distribution. Maybe they substitute those last 10 with figures without shipper boxes. But again, a lot of those ones that don't come in the shipper box have some sketchy ass shit like scotch tape on the seals. Things in the package are a little disheveled. And so Mario here saying that once Sideshow told him they randomly opened figures for inspection. Well, if they randomly opened that Iron Man and that passed inspection, that's fucked. So at the end of the day, I mean, I guess you can never know, right? At this point, what they're saying is what they're saying, and we have to take that at face value. That it could be an inspection, it could be a figure that's sent without a shipper, and that they're not selling return figures. But it seems like in the past few weeks we've seen half dozen of these cases. It seems like every day there's one popping up this week. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen with this. But Dean, I'd like to officially dub this as #ReturnGate.
Yeah.
And I'd like everyone to use that hashtag, please and thank you. Dean, our movie review of the week was Venom. Let me get into the plot here. Journalist Eddie Brock is trying to take down Carlton Drake, the notorious and brilliant founder of the Life Foundation. While investigating one of Drake's experiments, Eddie's body merges with the alien Venom, leaving him with superhuman strength and power, twisted, dark, and fueled by rage. Venom tries to control the new and dangerous abilities that Eddie finds so intoxicating. This movie famously had a really poor Rotten Tomatoes score by the critics, though a pretty high score by the regular people. And I was looking into, God damn it, Jason. Jason says, what part of that grinded your gears? The whole fucking part that you're paying full retail plus tax plus shipping for something that's not brand new. Anyways, Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, he doesn't buy Hot Toys, remember? Except when he does, which is
Jason, just imagine you get a brand new Imaginext and there's fucking fingerprints all over it. That's how we feel, my guy. Sean Yahtzee says an early 2000s quality superhero movie that came out in 2018/19. Dean, what do you think about this movie?
I don't hate it. It's very inoffensive. It's not the best movie in the world. But it doesn't suck. I guess that's a good thing. Like, it's watchable. I think if you compare it to even maybe like the worst MCU film, it's still not as good. I don't know. Sony just like doesn't really do great movies when it comes to like their, at least anything after Spider-Man 2 has been bad. Does that make sense?
Dude, I really like this movie. I don't know what it is. I think it might just be that I really like Tom Hardy. I enjoy this movie. It's definitely not the greatest film of all time. I think, having a Venom movie without Spider-Man is a tall task. Not a fan of our boy Bodhi in this film. Not a fan. I liked him better in Rogue One. I don't think he played that.
He's not intimidating.
No, not at all.
Although,
of course, like Riot is intimidating, but not Carlton Drake. Jason says Venom is my new Roadhouse, meaning if I'm surfing channels and it's on, I'm stopping it and watching it. Yeah, I really like this movie. The scenes are pretty good. I like the rat and tat between Venom and Eddie. The plot is just awful. Like pre-Venom, just nothing about it is good. But I think it's one of those films that you can turn your brain off of. This isn't a movie that is part of a, when you watch the Marvel films, like every fucking part of everything connects to another part of something else in a different movie. This movie is very self-contained. It's a very small scale story. And I like it. I wanted to review this because I've been having so much fun with the Hasbro Marvel Legends Venom. And obviously I think it was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, we saw the Hot Toys pre-order for the 6-scale Venom. And it's kind of reinvigorated my interest for this film.
Yeah.
But I do like it quite a bit. DA says I'll be interested to see if they bring in Spidey when they bring in Carnage. Yeah, that'd be cool. Definitely be cool. But if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend it. Now, the way Rotten Tomatoes works, I didn't know this until like a few days ago. Now, Rotten Tomatoes is based purely on would you recommend it and would you not, right? It's not like the reviewers give the score like a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. Oh. The average that you see on the 30% is out of 100 people, 30 would recommend this to someone else to watch, right? But then that's a low score. But if you think about it, Dean, like we are podcasters and we give the news every week. And every week there's some figures that we don't really care about. We still have to talk about them because that's our job. We share the news. Right. Now put that in the frame of reference. If your job is a movie critic, you might have no idea who Venom is. You might have no idea who Carnage is or Riot or anything about symbiotes or anything about anything.
Well, it's a bad time to be a movie critic.
But your job that day is to watch this movie and say if you would or wouldn't recommend it to someone else, right? Mm-hmm. And in that case, 30% of the critics would and 70% wouldn't. Whereas if you're a fan of the film, you're not like going into this with no idea of who anything about Venom is. Typically, you probably have a greater predisposition to liking this movie, and that's why a lot of times you'll see the averages being flipped really high for the audience score. I think this film was like an 80% audience score versus 30% critic. Yeah. And then you can flip that, right? Like I think The Last Jedi had like 100% critic rating, But the audience score
Rotten
was
Tomato is owned by Disney, though.
okay. Maybe that's a bad example, but you understand what I'm saying. Is like some films can have the opposite, where the critics are like, "Dude, this is the greatest movie of all time," because those people don't know all the subtle nuances of what make a specific movie good or bad.
Yeah,
and that's how you get weighted averages in both directions. But I thought that was so interesting when I read that. I was like, I'm going to share this on the show because I've always wondered how sometimes it seems to be totally random, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I would have liked this movie a little bit better if they didn't kill my girl, Jenny Slate. I love Jenny Slate. Mona Lisa Saperstein.
Ugh, dude, I fucking hate that character.
Oh, I love her so much.
Not in this movie, but Mona Lisa. She's so annoying.
Oh, I know. That's what makes her funny. But as an actress, I love Jenny Slate. So I was super excited that she's in the movie, and then she fucking died. I was like, what the fuck? I thought maybe it's gonna be like a love interest or something. No, she's dead. It's a watchable movie. I don't hate it. I like Jason, if it's on, hey, I'll watch it. But I'm not gonna like go out of my way to like start it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good movie, and the Marvel Legends is fantastic. Like honestly, Dean and I were talking about doing a video of our favorite figures of the year, and that figure is definitely on that list. It's so good.
I'll say this: I liked Venom more than I liked the second Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I didn't like it as much as Homecoming.
I'll give you that.
I didn't like it more than Spider-Man 1 or 2 with Tobey Maguire.
But I did like it more than Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3, any Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield.
Hey, don't talk about my boy like that.
Those just aren't great movies. Like, I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I just don't think those movies are good. Like, the stories aren't very good. But yeah, so I guess like I would only put in like Spider-Man movies, right? I would only put 3 movies ahead of this.
Wow, that's pretty high praise.
Yeah, like it's definitely not bad, but it's not the best.
Yeah,
it's literally right there in the middle. So, if you haven't seen it, I think you should watch it. Because if I don't like it like that much, there's room for you to like it even more, right? I don't think I'm very picky with my movies. I think I'm pretty, cut and dry down the middle. Like I could say if it's good or bad. So I mean, if you really like Venom and those characters, maybe you'll fucking love the shit out of the movie.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad. Dean, let's talk about the joy of hobbying. We've been doing a lot of hobbying this past few weeks, and we put up a video on YouTube of how to remove the fat suit. Dude,
I don't think I told you how great that video was.
You haven't, which I'm real upset. But there was a point where I was surfing Reddit, and there was 2 people that were asking for a video on how to do it because they really wanted to do it. And then I went over to Facebook and I saw 3 people asking for that video. And I was like, dude, I've been waiting for Dean to make this video for like 3 weeks. Like, I'm just gonna shoot it on my figure, even though I don't have a fat suit. And hopefully people like it, because the process of taking the fat suit off, the actual physical removal of the fat suit is 3 seconds. You snip some strings and then you pull it off. But getting to that point, there's a lot of meat and potatoes, right? And I shot it in 1 take, and it went really well. And what do you think about it, Dean?
It was fantastic. It was super good. 13 minutes, I think.
Yeah, a little over 12 minutes.
Down and back.
Got us like 16 subs. I think has like quite a few likes on YouTube. Definitely something that I'm really proud of because, for us, like we don't have a lot of videos that do that for us, like gain us a ton of subs out of nowhere.
Right.
And so it was pretty cool. We got like almost 800 views and 50 plus likes.
It was that one and the PewDiePie.
Yeah, it was that one, the PewDiePie. That's right. So
I don't think the PewDiePie really did that well. Let's see. Yeah, it was almost 800 views already.
Yeah, so definitely not bad. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a fun video to shoot. And at this point, I've gone back and modified mine a little bit. I added parts of the fat suit back in, kind of like a mismatch of different things. And I'm super happy with it. I know Ian, our cohort in the United Kingdom. He did a Fison body swap with his, which I thought looked really good. Though the Fison body is like $90. I'm not sure if I want to spend that much on that. But yeah, if you want to do the Mandalorian fat suit removal, check out our video on Collecting Weekly YouTube, and it's very easy. In fact, I would say it's probably as easy with more pieces, but as easy as the Magneto that we showed a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, I also did get.
I was shocked at how easy the Mando is to dismantle. Because, like you said, and you even told someone in the comments of that video, the Boba Fett's are fucking a nightmare.
Yeah, because the Boba Fett's a nightmare because underneath, like in his midsection, he has like this fabric belt that he wears, and those are super hard to remove. And then 2, his crotch armor is glued shut on both the Hot Toys and the Sideshow ones. So no matter what type of Boba Fett you're disassembling, including the Mythos, you have to crack those parts open. With this, it's all mechanical construction. You can easily remove things and put them back on. And I mean, it's a super easy, like, I mean, again, 12 minutes. And I think the first time that I did it, it probably took 20 minutes. And I mentioned in the video, the reason why it took so long is I took the cape off of the vest, and figuring out how to futz it back the way that it's wrapped around the neck took me about 10 minutes to figure that out. So it's really not a hard process. In fact, I think if you're someone that wants to do it and you're even just casually into modifying figures, I think you'd be able to swim through it. And I will say this, if you're in the Patreon, the $15 tier, if you want to do this, but you don't want to do it yourself, if you trust me enough, send it to me and I'll do it for you and send it back. Sean Yancey says, where did you add the fat suit back? So, can you see this mouse here? You can't. So on mine, I added the fat suit back in the forearms because the gauntlets were a little too floaty without that extra padding. I added the fat suit back in the thigh and then the shin, and then in the top part, like maybe like right above the belly button to the chest area.
Yeah, if it was me, I would just cut them at the shoulders and then put the fat suit back right here.
Yeah. Basically, the one thing I removed was the padding on the crotch area and then the padding on the biceps, because that bicep padding is what gets stuck between the suit and the joint.
Yeah.
But everything else is pretty manageable. And cutting the cut between those allows a little bit more flexibility. And then on mine, I did permanently remove the foam around the neck because I do have the unmasked head sculpt, which is here. This is done by our boy at Watto Scrapyard, Sean Fear. And I think the sculpt is really good. A lot of people thought it was not a good sculpt or a good paint job, and fuck those people. I think it's a pretty good sculpt. I think my paint probably could use some work. But a lot of people were showing like these really young Pedro Pascal pics from like 10, 20 years ago. And I'm like, that's not who's in the suit, right? Like, he doesn't have the full beard. He doesn't have the spiky hair. He has his hair down. He has like almost no beard. And especially in the Mando, which this head sculpt is based off of, he just got like his head, he's bleeding, right? I haven't added the blood on mine yet. I don't know if I will go through with that. But there was some smart ass, I'll probably talk about it after dark, that was like trolling the post with his head sculpt, which was far worse. And
what post was on?
On 16 Republic, well, the guy deleted his comments already.
Oh,
but his head sculpt looked so bad. It was like actually cringy how bad it was.
That's why Greg added me.
Probably.
Because I got a random like, oh, Greg added you. I was like, okay. But he probably wanted me to come talk some shit.
I was like, yo, your head sculpt looks like Pablo Pascal. Mine look like Pedro Pascal. But yeah, I'll send you the head sculpt. We'll talk about it after dark tomorrow, but I'll send you I'll send it to you in private message right now. But I mean, I think this looks great, right? I mean, Sean made this head sculpt way before this scene. Like, as soon as it was announced this guy was playing this, I think he had the head sculpt already.
Yeah.
And at the end, of course, like, it paid off pretty well. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Dean Collecting Weekly Awards, the nominations are closing. We should have some finalists announced probably next week or two. So if you want to nominate and have your voice heard during the most prestigious of awards ever frankly the most important voting of 2020. I recommend that you do that, and it's on Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. I think, Dean, I think we'll probably make a short video that we can post on the YouTube channel just to remind people about this. But yeah, I think it's going to be fun. We have quite a few nominations thus far, and I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a good old time for the CW Awards.
Yeah.
We're doing the Collecting Weekly Live Pink 2020 shirt. Our shirt sales have been really bad this past 2 months. I think I said we were just going to donate $50 regardless, because I don't think we'd really be able to donate any amount of money to make it worth anything. But we will be donating to Be the Match. But if you want to show the support for cancer awareness, we do have that Pink 2020 shirt up on the Collecting Weekly TeePublic. Dean, let's give a thank you to these Patreonies.
Yeah. Ben Porter, Griffin Campbell, Sean Fear, Ian Seaby, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, handsome Quinn Aguirre. He got mad last time because I give other people attention. Leo Hernandez, King Louie, Mark Pearson, Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krett, Jason Nelson, Big Ol' Fern, King Zach, Cesar Mariquin, Eddie Mendez, Eric Ruiz, Mario Cortez in the chat, Stephen Percha, Sean Yahtzee, also in the chat, Scott Bradley, Jesse Contreras, Stephen Maria Stanley, and am I saying this right? Lord Voldatort?
Yes. We have our first ever pet Patreon. Dean Seth Tucker wanted to sponsor the show on behalf of Lord Voldatort. And
his tortoise.
We're a big fan.
Okay. I didn't get it until just the second when you said it was Seth. So
first off, I said the tortoise should be called Tortilla, but he said no. And I was a little offended by that. That was a great name for a tortoise. But yeah, the empire grows, Dean. Every week it seems like we get a new Patreon. And I think we're gonna shoot. We talked about shooting. I'm gonna pull this up, okay? We talked about shooting.
This is genuine reaction on this dude's head sculpt.
We talked about shooting a Patreon.
It's goofy. What is this?
Okay, hang on.
What the fuck is that?
Okay, so the guy that roasted my head sculpt, this is what his head sculpt looks like. And I don't want to hear a goddamn thing. Not only was it offensive to me, okay, but hear me out, Dean. When I posted my pic, I didn't say that I had gotten it from someone else. I just said, this is my custom head sculpt.
Right.
And the guy commented, like, hit me up if you want a better one. So either he thought that that was my work that he was insulting and he offered a better one, or he knew I got it from someone else and still insulted that person's work, which he did.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that I was like, dude, I got it from Watto Scrapyard. Like, it looks so good. And he's like, it looks like scrap. And of course, Sean was in the chat. He wasn't happy that the guy was talking about his head sculpt. But dude, objectively,
that's not even Pedro.
That is not Pedro Pascal. I literally don't understand how that guy would have that kind of energy to share that head sculpt. Like,
not only the head sculpt, look at the rest of the figure. It's like a fucking like tatted together mess, dude.
That is not Pedro Pascal. That looks like short-haired Jesus Christ.
You know what? Like, honestly, it feels a little racist, right? Like, oh, it looks like Pedro Pascal. No, it doesn't. Like, who is that? Are you saying? I don't even want to say what he's saying.
Purely, Dean, purely objectively, like not the fact that Sean is our sponsor, but this head sculpt, my poor paint apps aside, is much more accurate to what he looks like under the helmet.
I think the only thing, Sean, if you're in the chat, maybe change like the hair on the sides to make it come out a little more. That's it. But that looks like Pedro.
Jeez, I just lost my mouse. Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like have some hair come out. It's a little uniform. But I mean, maybe that will fit a helmet, right? If it's hollowed out. But I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who that's supposed to be. That is one of the goofiest looking things I've ever seen in my life.
In fact, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna do it live. Let's go here. And I'm not trying to be a dick, right? But like, don't like I'm not a spiteful person, and I'm not like someone that's just gonna troll someone. But like, if you come onto my post with that kind of energy, and then you show up with that weak fucking sauce, Dean,
that shit was bad, bro.
Dude, me and Eric were roasting this dude, and he deleted his comments. Here, I'm gonna crop these bad.
Oh,
boys
Eric
out.
came and got your back.
Yeah, dude, no one had my back, dude. I was like, what the fuck?
As long as Eric got your back, it's fine.
Here, let me.
Dude, that shit's fucking funny.
Dude, I love your genuine reaction.
I'm not kidding. That was so funny because, like, thinking of like the comments and then seeing that, it's not like I was expecting, like, oh, maybe it'd be like neck and neck, right? Like, one's pretty close. No, that shit was fucking hilarious.
Objectively, right? Objectively, purely in the realm of objectable, that is not even remotely Pedro Pascal.
No, it's like that looks more like Amy Pascal than Pedro Pascal.
Dude, that's Pablo Pascal. Someone said it's like Sid the Sloth with mixed with Maximus Decimus Meridius. Dude, holy shit. Actually, that's who I thought it was to begin with. When I saw the sculpt and I was scrolling, I legit thought it was like a weird Russell Crowe impersonation. But yeah, purely based in objectifiable facts, that head sculpt on the right on the Celebs Like Me website, nowhere near Pedro Pascal. The one that I have was 30%.
Amy Pascal is that Sony executive that's in charge of Spider-Man, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was like, you had me on that one. I was I'm not sure who that is. I'm just gonna go with it. Now, Dean, in December, the patron. Oh God. The December patron benefits: the 4-inch window cling, the 1.25-inch button, the CW Christmas card, which we're working on this weekend, and the holiday sticker. We should be ordering that here pretty soon. Definitely a good little package there. There's a close-up there on the button.
I want the button.
We have 3 tiers. The $5 Sweet Angel tier, stickers sent straight to your door, as well as access to Ox After Dark. The Crispy tier was the official certified Crispy certificate, assistance with figure fixes by Zach, including Mandalorian fat suit removal if you need it, and all the benefits of each of the previous tiers, and then the What a Guy, which is the 18x24 silhouette poster signed on your first pledge, doubles of all the stickers we send, and one sculpture painted by Darkside's Customs, and all the benefits of the previous tiers.
Zach's gonna help me with the figure fix.
Oh yeah,
I'm not a Patreon-y, but
$15.
That'd be nice.
Be $15. Collecting Weekly does have a physical mailing address if you want to send us some fan mail. 5886 Dezavala Road, Suite 102, box number 292.
Or
in San Antonio, like Texas 7. Can you shut up? Jesus.
If you're getting rid of something, you can send it to us or me specifically. Right on the box who's born.
Jesus. They're not going to send us anything because they can't hear the address. San Antonio, Texas 78249.
That's right there on the screen. They can read.
Yeah, but we are
I think you're insulting our listeners' intelligence saying they can't read.
Well, I would say we have a 50-50 split of audio to video listeners. So,
oh, you're right. Go back and read
it. We have Secret Santa that we're doing on Oxstein. If you could formally sign up, that'd be great.
I did.
Santa, oh, you did? Okay. Powered by Auxiliary. We're sending out partnerships, I believe, next Tuesday. We are on Facebook at Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. You can join the group. We goof, we gaff, we laugh. We have a gay old time in that group. It's a fun group, man.
It's really fun.
We have a good time there. We have some other shows in the network. Collecting Rarities, which recorded this week. Small Talk, The Joy of Hobbying, Only Fools in Collecting, Ian, Pete, great guys, and Steve, great guys. We just sent them a care package and they got it today. And I love those guys. They're good people.
They're the best guys.
Creeps Are Us should be recording, I think, sometime this month, along with Collecting Comics. But yeah, we have a lot of fun on the network. We put out a good bit of content, and that's why we have the Patreon, because we put out so much content. We have, we're expanding. We're in that phase where we're sending out a lot of equipment to our cohorts. We're sending out a bunch of stickers, and the Patreon. Every penny that you guys pay goes into supporting the network, and we couldn't be more thankful for the people that help us out. Let's talk friends of the show real quick. 6 Scale Scavengers, Brian, Chris, TC, great guys over there at 6 Scale Scavengers, Optical 20, William's a good kid. PJ the Paradox Nerd, Rogue 16, Matt, Steve, bunch of good guys there. King, Zachary, Venable, the man, the myth, the legend, and then Zhao from Third Party Reviews. All class people, Dean. Bunch of classy
Class
folks
acts.
there.
Yeah.
This is a good episode, Dean. This is a good episode.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to use our new GIF though.
Which one?
Yeah, that was cool. I want to see it again. Again.
I don't know. That's so funny. We have a good time, Gruden. I love it.
That's what I thought about that dude's head sculpt, so I could laugh at it again.
Dude, it's funny stuff.
This shit's bad, bro.
Anyways, Dean, we have to do some editing, and maybe, just maybe later tonight, we'll play Among Us. I'm not sure.
Oh, well.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Anyways, guys, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.
Yeah, that was cool. I want to see it again.